Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Pregame, presented by PointsBet. Don't forget to use that promo code CHGO when you sign up to live your bet life. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. You can follow my friend Big Dave here at BAWL Sports. You can follow my other friend over there, Will Gottlieb, at Won't Gottlieb. Follow us at CHGO_Bulls. All right, gentlemen. Bulls trying to break their 5-game losing streak tonight.
Yeah.
This is their best shot to end this losing streak because it is against the Central Division rival Detroit Pistons. I'm wearing my Horace Grant straight up bitches shirt tonight.
Very nice.
You better show that off tonight.
And you know, even though the Detroit's been playing better of late, and we'll talk about that later on, you have to feel like the Bulls have to come into this game saying, do not take this team lightly.
Yes.
We have got to get a freaking W.
They've got to get this W, Matt. They honestly do. They have got to get this win and get off this losing streak, man. We all thought that they were going to struggle against these elite teams, especially being injured, and they definitely did. So now you get some time with at least these next 3 games. Your schedule isn't as difficult going against these teams. Not saying these teams can't beat you, because obviously they definitely can, and we'll get into it later about what the Pistons have been doing in the Eastern Conference these past few games. But they can't take them lightly, but they got to take them, is what I'm saying.
I think I was haunting Matt's dreams last night after I brought up the trap game. They really, I mean, you lose 5 in a row. You just can't have any mentality of like, oh, we finally got a beatable team.
If they were coming off of a hard-fought victory against a legitimate opponent, then you might look at this as a trap game. But you can't have a trap game if you're on a 5-game losing streak.
Look, man, I hope you're right. I don't see the Bulls losing this one. I think they have to take care of business here. I think they know that. So hopefully we will see the end of this 5-game skid.
Yeah.
As you saw those updated Eastern Conference standings, I mean, the Bulls, they are in dire straits right now. After last night's action, which included wins for the Nets over the Hornets, the Cavs in a tight one over the Pacers, and the Bucks handling the Thunder by putting up 142. Oh, my God, Giannis. The Bulls still there in 4th, a game and a half behind Philly and Milwaukee, who are tied at 2nd and 3rd. Only a half game ahead of Boston, and 1 game clear of the Cavs in 6th, who, by the way, the Bulls face on Saturday.
Yes.
So it's just like important game after important game after important game. If there is good news coming into tonight's game, other than the fact that the Bulls are looking at their most winnable game in a week, it is the fact that we got some good news on the injury front earlier today. I mean, you would both classify it as good news, right?
We got some great news just now as we're recording.
Ooh.
Vooch
Was it about Vooch game time?
Vooch is back in the starting lineup.
Hey, that is good news.
That is good news.
That is good news.
I thought you just had like a sweet segue on deck there, but I had to hook it up for you.
Well done.
That is great. He was listed as questionable yesterday and today with this same hamstring that's been nagging him, caused him to miss the game on Monday. Great to have Vooch back, but then earlier today we also got updates on Alex Caruso, Patrick Williams, and Lonzo Ball. The Lonzo Ball update was pretty much just, we're still on a wait and see with Lonzo.
Right.
And it seems like these latest updates we got from Casey Johnson, among others, is that there is at least now a clear timeline of who's coming back when. Caruso, it sounds like, is the closest on deck to make his return, followed by Patrick Williams, who's been out since October with his wrist injury, and Lonzo will be the last of that trio to return.
Right.
But Caruso cleared for contact in practice, and then a slightly different update with Patrick Williams, which is cleared for minimal contact.
Yeah.
Somebody on Twitter asked me what's minimal contact, and I was like, I don't know. I just responded with that gif of Lance Stevenson blowing in LeBron's ear. Like, what's minimal contact? I don't know.
And I don't care either, because honestly, that he's out there and he's going to have some sort of time with the team is all I was happy about.
And just to specify there, Rob Schaefer of NBC Sports tweeted that Williams is now doing 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 work. So I think that's
the minimal.
So that's
contact.
minimal
So no
contact.
5-on-5.
No 5-on-5s yet.
Okay.
That
That's
will be
minimal.
his next step.
Okay, sounds good to me. Like I said, anything positive that gets him closer to being back with this team, I'm completely with. So, minimum
One step at a
contact,
time.
I will take it. Bring it on.
And, people have been talking a lot, and there are some Bulls fans who think, I don't care. I'm sick of we don't have Lonzo and Caruso excuse. This team has got to play better. They've got to win these games. And there are some saying, look, the Bulls defense has plummeted because of these guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Joe Cowley, who I came at earlier today when he put out one of his bait tweets about, oh, really? This team has 2 top 25 players. They really need Lonzo Caruso? And I said, yeah, they do. Look, in this Casey Johnson update about these injuries earlier today, he made note of the fact that the Bulls are 11-10 since Caruso went down, 12-13 since Lonzo went down. I mean, I don't know what other proof you need to know that this is not a coincidence.
No.
That the Bulls, despite still being able to pour in points, are struggling mighty to get stops, to get those transition opportunities because of the defense that those guys provide. And that's the reason that they are basically a barely 500 team since their absences.
Well, even also on the offensive end, you definitely missed the IQ of Lonzo Ball, getting everybody involved.
The ball movement, just keeping it moving.
Correct.
It's actually surprising to me how good the Bulls have been without those two on offense because, I mean, it's just DeMar going absolutely
DeMar going
crazy.
insane, right?
But just
right.
like you're saying, I mean, so many easy buckets, like, 2 or 3 steals a game that just get you out in transition, easy layup. That's been gone for the past 2 months.
And
So
it's about knowing when to do it, too, on the offensive end. Lonzo was great at knowing exactly when who needed the bucket, who needed to have the basketball. And was it Vooch, whether it was Zach or whoever, he knew who needed the ball at that point in time. And he was really great at that kind of distribution.
defensively, though, little teaser, tomorrow, I think, going to be dropping something about Caruso's defense. And I was on the website, allchgo.com.
Come on.
Check it out, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
All that.
I was just watching some of his defensive highlights and laughing because he is just so freaking good. So check that piece out when it comes out. It's a positive one. We have something to be excited
All
about
about
here.
that life,
Caruso
Will.
is so good.
Speaking of game time decisions, Mo in the YouTube comments, shout out to Mo, said no beef stew tonight, so Vooch definitely needs to feast.
Wow.
I saw that Isaiah Stewart was questionable as well on the Pistons injury report, but
That's
I didn't see
big.
the final update. So, I mean, if Isaiah Stewart is on the shelf tonight and
That's
Vooch is
big.
active,
Yeah.
please win this game.
Inside.
Please.
All day. Inside. Buckets.
They do
please.
have Kelly Olynyk back now. He's been back for a few weeks.
He's
after
always
missing
solid.
a ton of time.
Yeah.
He absolutely roasts the Bulls, and he's sort of big man who can pick and pop. Just has a really.
Where
Vooch has
is
a
he
tough
on the
time.
random players to roast the Bulls like depth chart? Is he above or below Furkan Korkmaz?
He's right.
Everybody
at
is below
Korkmaz.
Korkmaz.
Yes. He's right.
He's like in between Korkmaz and Gabe Vincent.
Oh, God, yes. Gabe Vincent out there like Mitch Richmond. Gabe Vincent is doing his thing, man. Come on.
Bullseye Insight said, completely agree. Vooch going to have a 20-15 night. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I really wouldn't.
Our guy Clark.
Would be,
Clark's going with Vooch for first basket. Let's fire him right back up. I love that. Speaking of which, Big Dave, tell the people how they can have some fun tonight using that PointsBet app to do all kinds of stuff for this Bulls-Pistons game.
Oh, I know you want to be involved in the game. I know you're watching it and you're like, how can I get in on this action? How can I also do that and help out my people at CHGO? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You download the PointsBet app. And the best way to support CHGO is to use that code when you download that app, CHGO. PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. We're most excited for PointsBet's new exclusive feature, the live NBA same game parlay. Oh, for the first time ever, you can build the perfect live same game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. And if you want more, and why wouldn't you? You can boost your live same game parlays, y'all. Watch live, parlay live, and boost live, all with PointsBet. And also, all the people out there in Illinois, you already know, you don't have to leave no more. You can sign up right there at home on your desktop, on your phone, or whatever. Sign up, y'all. And it's easy. You don't have to leave anymore. You can do it right now. You can download that PointsBet app today and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. Check out that link in that description below. Use that code CHGO, that rhymed, to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Because once the game starts, you don't just bet, you live your bet life. PointsBet. You heard, Will?
Best part of the show right there. Best part of the show.
Shout out to our pal Adam from DNVR who said same game parlays greater than. I love usage of the greater than sign a million times.
Yes.
With just whatever I'm vibing right now.
It doesn't even matter, right?
Speaking of those same game parlays that you can odds boost on, Here's the one that our pal Cody Delmendo from CHGO Cubs and CHGO Bets
Cody
is throwing down on Bulls Pistons tonight. He just relayed it to me just before we went on.
He did.
Here's what he's got. A 5-leg same game for Bulls Pistons tonight. He's taking the over on Jeremy Grant, 17.5 points. He's taken the over on DeMar, 6.5 rebounds. DeMar has been boarding the ball well recently.
Yes, that's true.
We got Bulls minus 5.5. Good for you, Cody, saying the Bulls are going to cover
at him.
this.
Look at
I
Cody
love
over
it.
there.
I love
Pump
it.
up. Yes, sir.
We got Jeremy Grant making over 1.5 3-pointers and Zach LaVine over 24.5 points. There it is. There's your 5 legs for tonight. That's 1,200 odds.
Hammer that.
Boosted
Hammer
plus
lock.
1330.
Well done.
Boom.
How you feeling about that, Cody? You feel good about this?
Cody, you
1-0.
gotta add a Kelly Olynyk threes bet in there somewhere. It's gonna be a high number.
And hey, you know what? You got to start a winning streak somewhere.
It's true.
And why not start with one? Whether it's your same game parlays or the Bulls starting a new winning streak against the Pistons.
Correct.
DeBarn asking on DeMar DeRozan. Interesting.
Well done.
Asking on YouTube, any chance Io locks up Cade again tonight?
Oh,
funny you
man.
mention that. The Bulls have only seeded Cade once in their
Right.
first 3 games against the Pistons because the Bulls, 2 of their first 3 games to start the season were against Detroit when Cade was out. So this will only be our second look at Cade, but anytime you're thinking about Io and a talented guard that the Bulls are facing up against, that's what you're thinking about. Can Io lock him down? We've talked about it with Trey, among many others. Cade has been playing a lot better recently.
True.
Like a lot better.
Yeah.
What do you think, Will? Is he locking him down tonight?
I would love to say yes. Cade is playing out of his mind right now. I think he's on a level where if you didn't have guys like Evan Mobley, Josh Giddey, Scotty Barnes just coming in and playing at such a high level from the beginning of the year, I think people kind of forgot about Cade.
Yeah,
he's
agreed.
really good. Up to
Nowadays,
6.
everybody want to talk.
Yes.
We got about Cade.
Oh, well done. Well done.
I know some hip-hop references, Dave.
Well done. And I just, yes. Good to you, please.
But he's up to 16.5 points, almost 6 rebounds and 5 assists. He is like an offensive engine that could, a good team could build around him. So
Yeah.
he's playing really well, and his shot hasn't even really started falling. I feel like that was his best quality back at Oklahoma State, where he just has that pull-up jumper. So he's really good. I'm excited to watch the IO matchup.
Let me ask you, do you attribute, because in his first game there, 3 of 11, 8.7 rebounds, 3 assists in 29 minutes. How much of that do you give him being, kind of being his first time, getting back? Because it was kind of his first time getting back, you know what I'm saying, from the injury when he played up against the Bulls. And how much do you give that, and how much do you give credit to Io?
It's got to be a little bit of both. I mean, when you come in as a rookie, there are very few instances where you're just incredible right away. I mean, people fixate on Luka, Trey Young, guys like that who just come in and are good, and that's really rare. And so even guys like Cade, it takes a little while to get going, especially coming off the ankle injury. I think he's warming his way up into like just who he is going to be as a player. So I always got his work cut out for him tonight, but he's a great defender too, so it'll be a good matchup.
If you look at what this Bulls-Pistons series has been in the regular season, again, like I said, 2 of these 3 games go all the way back to October when Patrick Williams was still in our lineup. Check this out. So there are your final scores. The 2 in October, the Bulls 94-88 over the Pistons, Bulls 97-82. The Bulls' big 3 are all noteworthy in those first 2 wins. And then again, in January, when Cade did play, but as you mentioned, Dave, just 3 for 11 for Cade in that game. 133-87, the largest margin of victory for either team in the history of the Bulls-Pistons rivalry. I love that stat so much that I want to buy it dinner.
Buy you a meal of food.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Other thing I found interesting in that is in that first game, Zach LaVine went to the line 10 times in that game. It was the last time he went to the line 10 times until December when they played Brooklyn. He's only been to the line 10 plus times 4 times this season. So the fact that it happened once here in Detroit, hopefully he can get that kind of love again, man, because he's not used to getting to the free throw line that many times, but it would definitely be welcome.
Man, the other thing that stands out to me when you look at these 3 games against the Pistons, they held them under 90 in all 3 games. That feels like not just months ago, but generations ago. Those aren't NBA scores. I mean, other than the Bulls putting up 133 in the last meeting, those are 1990s NBA scores.
Yeah,
It's wild.
Very.
And I'm not super confident that the Bulls will succeed in holding the Pistons below 90 for the fourth time this season tonight. What about you, Will?
I mean, they're playing like a different team. We talked about it last night. I think 6-4 in their last 10. So they have started to figure some things out. I don't think it's a walkthrough kind of game, as we were talking about at the top. So, I think you attribute a lot of that to the way Cade's playing. Kelly Olynyk coming back and spacing the floor for them. Sadiq Bey has been playing really well. They've got some nice pieces, and it just takes time with these young teams. Like, you have to learn the game. You have to start to figure it out. And we also talked last night about how, teams have peaks and valleys throughout the season. They're definitely starting to ramp up. So they're looking a lot better. It makes sense that a young team is starting to get better at this point in the season. And hopefully the Bulls can, follow suit.
And they're looking to play spoiler also. They know what they're going against. They know what the Bulls
That's
are
all they have left
playing for.
right now.
Literally all they have left is to
And
play
lottery
that
balls.
spoiler. Yes, and yes, very true, very true. But they would love to just throw a crimp in those plans, throw that monkey wrench in those plans for the Chicago Bulls, especially with it being the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
You see the shirt this man is wearing. The
Uncle
rivalry is
Horace.
what it is.
Is there bad blood between these two teams?
Just a
I'll
little
fill you
bit.
in later.
Just
I'll
a
fill you
little
in.
bit.
I'll fill you in. A little bit, though.
If you need a refresher, or if you're too young to remember, you can watch The Last Dance. They clear that right up.
Hello.
There's a little bit of bad blood.
I fit the criteria.
She didn't fit the criteria for Jack.
Oh man, but yeah, I think that will be fresh on their minds. Also, getting a chance to see Marvin Bagley III. Very interested to see.
You're a big Bagley guy.
I am, man. I'm interested to see how he plays, man. I always thought he was just really good, but just didn't get that opportunity in Sacramento. And it seems like he's starting to get that chance in Detroit. And it also helps when you're playing with a really, really good point guard. It makes it really, really simple for you guys out there. So I'm interested to see his game tonight. Hey,
Shout out Adam. Appreciate you, buddy. What's up with the Bears? Are they going to trade for a quarterback or what?
DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett?
I'll take both of them.
The answer is yes.
Give me both
Answer
of
is
them.
yes. Yeah, for real. Just give me either one.
I had DK on both my fantasy teams this year.
Okay.
Mwah.
Did well?
Yeah. Lockett's too much of a wild card, man. He either gives you 3 tutties and 150 yards or nothing.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, man.
Quick fantasy talk for y'all. Yeah.
We should talk about
Right
fantasy
there.
basketball, too, although that's a rabbit hole that none of y'all want me to go down.
You do not.
DeMar DeRozan saying, thanks for the input, y'all. My friend is a Pistons fan, so I wanted to know if I should start talking shit now or later.
Both?
DeMar, I would say later. Later. You never want to start, counting the shit talking chickens before they hatch. I have come to regret that many a times in my life.
But
I have friends who are Packers fans, and I learned at a fairly young age, when the Bears are up 20 at halftime, you do not say shit. All right, you don't do it.
That's
it
a
will come
prime
back to bite
opportunity
you.
to open your PointsBet app and bet on the Packers.
This man right here. He's on it,
I
baby.
hate to say it, but it's the truth.
Use that code CHGO. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
The thing that I did love about that last Bulls-Pistons game, which was a beatdown, was just the balance offensively.
Yes.
I feel like that's
yes.
something that has been missing a little bit in this recent stretch of games where we've got ISO DeMar, we've got some ISO Zach. Io's trying to get some stuff going as a distributor and a playmaker for this team, but there's just not the same quality and quantity of ball movement for this Bulls offense recently, I feel.
Yeah.
And when DeMar's ISO game is not playing at peak levels, you kind of miss that ball movement. But, in that beatdown against the Pistons, you had 8 Bulls players in double figures. Vooch paced the team with 22. DeRozan had 20. And then on down the line, everybody else chipped in like 18, 16, 15, 14. Like, that is what you want. Because I feel like it's a greater model for sustained success than hoping DeMar goes in the 35 to 45 range every night, right?
Very true. Very true. And I keep kind of going back to that first game just because for me it was just so important to the Bulls season because that was a game we were used to seeing them lose. and not come out with that victory. And Vooch struggled also in that game, but he hit that huge 3-pointer from the top of the key to give them that, lead, that 1-point lead that they never gave up after that. And it just, for me, set the tone for the Bulls this season. And it kind of lifted a weight for me personally that, oh man, this is going to be different this year. We're not going to be losing these bum teams like this.
Absolutely.
And going down like that. So, and then when they played them the next game, a few games later, you saw it looked so much more fluid and a little bit better for the Bulls.
It was the perfect silence game after the way that the national media was talking about the Bulls and their offseason moves. Yeah, I mean, totally agree.
Yeah, man, it was great. It was great to watch, and that's also kind of where the people not liking Vooch thing kind of took off. Like, is he going to be slumping? Is he going to be playing like this? What's going on? Because what was he 7 of 21 shooting from three? He played 35 minutes. He didn't shoot well, but 15 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and the key 3-pointer, man. So that's why Matt and I have been so much like, well, if that's a slump, then I'll take a little bit more of that.
And again, he does so much to help make this team work. It's not just the shooting numbers, although there were moments, especially early on in the season, where he's getting the ball like 3 feet away from the basket and airballing it somehow.
Yeah. Yes,
that happens.
That's true.
Guys go through slumps, but he does so much to open up the floor for DeMar and Zach. Just the way he moves the ball, him as a screener, pick and pop guy, he does so much.
Yeah, and also it was also the birth of Ayo as well, because we saw him coming in, getting some really good minutes for that team, and surprising everybody with just how well he was playing.
Was the true birth of Ayo that, or the game in the Boston Garden?
The Boston, I think it was that, because for me it kind of. And you're right. Like, for me, the Boston game was more like, oh, man, you could actually start.
Right, yeah.
Like, it was more of that. But for me, the Detroit one removed a ton of doubt for people who thought he should have been in the G League. Like, man, I don't know why they would play him like this. And Billy brought him in, like in prime time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he really went to him and really relied upon him, to do his thing. And, yeah, he played those 11 minutes. He had 8 shots. Like, we showed he wasn't shy to come out here and play, and he felt like he belonged. You know what I'm saying, when we saw him on that court.
The Bullseye Insight saying for ball movement, we're just missing reversals. The ball isn't hitting both sides of the court on most possessions. That's true. I've noticed that too. A lot of these possessions, the ball gets stuck on one side of the floor, and the Bulls never go to the weak side. And there are more than one ways to get that ball over to the weak side of the court. You can swing it around the top of the key, but the other reason that Vooch is so missed is the way that he swings the ball from one side of the floor to the other through the interior. His passing, whether it be from the low post to the high post, Vooch's passing and switching of the floor is missed when it's not there. It's so glaringly noticeable.
And Zach Lonzo and Caruso too.
Yes.
You see a ton of isolation and pick and roll since those two went out, and it's because they do such a great job of just sharing the wealth, moving the ball side to side, and that opens up easy driving lanes and that mid-range space for DeMar and Zach. So, again, just another reason to be excited about those two.
In addition to their skill level at making entry passes, they also have they both have incredible court vision, and it is missed. Rode Sanchez in the comments said, if they lose tonight, I'm switching teams. Cool. Bye.
Right. Peace.
I think the Lakers or Warriors could use some more fans. Maybe the Heat, hell if I care.
No, man, you'll be here, bro. You'll be fine. It'll be all right. But
this is it. If they lose this game and go from 13 games over 500 to 12, I'm packing my bags and moving on.
To what?
I love empty threats. They're hilarious.
But does it matter? Well done,
shame
sir.
not for
Well
Game
done.
of Thrones.
Well done, sir. Well done. Does it matter to you guys how they beat Detroit, or do you just want to win? Does it matter if you get a 30-pointer, or does it
give
matter
me
if
the
you get
point
5?
differential? You have time to bring it back up. Let's win by 30.
By 30. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You want the big one?
I want a statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sliding a bit.
I want a convincing win tonight. Convincing. Jake in the comments said, I missed the full court Lonzo lobs for easy dunks on the other end. Don't we all?
Oh, my God.
Remember that?
The one highlight where Caruso steals the ball, dumps it off to Lonzo.
Yes.
Lonzo overhead baseball pass, Zach 360. That is just like probably one of the best Bulls highlights of
without question.
the last 5, 6, 7 years.
And my favorite part of that, though, is after that dunk, You see Lonzo wanting to celebrate with everybody, but then he realizes Zach is running towards the official to yell at him. He's like, oh, snap, let me go get Zach before he gets kicked out the game, because Zach was so angry he wasn't getting those calls. Man, I love that play. I saw him put his hand in the air.
Yes,
I'm
Joey?
like, you good? Yes.
Oh, we have 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well
You got to differentiate that from 5 minutes
Right,
from,
man.
hey, hello, hi.
Need me one of these.
Sometimes it is hard to get a word in with you guys, so I'm trying to
Tell me about it.
No, stop.
Just cut my
I'm
mic
here.
anytime you feel like it. Mr. Nate Scott, what up, Nate? Said, I missed the 2 Cookie Monsters. Yeah, seriously.
Cookies.
I mean, the Bulls were one of the elite teams in the NBA out of the gate this season at creating and scoring off of those turnovers. They have plummeted. I think the last I checked, they were either 29th or dead last in creating turnovers.
Yeah. Think they're going to need those guys back, huh?
My
Think they're going to
goodness.
play an important role? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a thing, man.
Marvin saying, come on, guys, bad as we need to win. A win is a win. I'll take a 1 point.
Oh,
Yes,
I agree with you, Marvin.
I'm not going to turn my nose up at a close margin of victory tonight. Obviously, you take the victory first and foremost, but I'm just saying, on a 5-game skid, you're kind of in the biggest and nastiest rut of your entire season. It would be good to at least prove to yourselves and other people that you can still beat down the JV squads.
Especially when you're not beating any of these really good teams. You got to just remind yourself and everybody else we're still at least, medium high level here.
Right. And let's take one more look at it, Joey. It is not necessarily as JV of a squad lately with these Pistons. No, the other one about their post-All-Star game numbers. There it is. So there you see on the left-hand side their numbers and rankings for the entire NBA season, and then on the right, their rankings in their previous 7 games coming out of the All-Star break. I mean, massive improvements across the board.
Huge improvements across. And for a young team, for them to have, to go down on their turnovers is huge, because that's usually what young teams are going to struggle with, is turning the ball over. But the fact they've kind of figured that out and kind of gotten that rhythm now, that says a lot about.
Especially young point guards. I think, you want sometimes to see what kind of creativity they have making passes and test the limits of what they're able to do as playmakers. And then you sort of reel it in. And so I think that's probably what we're seeing with Cade here, where, he's testing it out, he's making plays, and now starting to understand how his teammates move, what are sort of the confines of the offense that he can work with, and that probably is an indicator there with the turnovers.
That's true, very true.
All right, guys, who is tonight's leading scorer? Bulls or Pistons? Is it DeMar? Is it a Zach Knight? Is it Sadiq Bey? Is it Cade? Is it Vooch?
Is it Olenek?
All right, Joey.
If it's Olenek, we won by 40.
If it's Olenek, then I'm with whoever just said I'm picking a new team. That would be a legitimate be-all, end-all, I'm walking away moment.
Oh, my goodness.
If Kelly Olynyk is the leading scorer for tonight.
I mean, it's hard to go against DeMar, right? Like, you kind of just got to say DeMar DeRozan. But, I'll say Vooch. Why not?
Yeah, I think Vooch has opportunity on a mismatch, like you guys said, without Isaiah Stewart in there. But who's going to guard? I mean, you have Cade and you have Killian Hayes and you have Sadiq Bey. Which of those 3 guys is guarding DeMar? Maybe Sadiq Bey, but
yeah,
I'm gonna go with none of them.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Our pal Mark K, the 4th member of our squad here in the comments, just said Joey ... Sir. I assume that was in reference to the Kelly Olynyk high point scorer of the night.
Oh man, dude, it won't happen. No.
Our pal JR, shout out JR from Grand Rapids, here to rep Chicago, even though I'm living in Michigan. I'd rather be full of bull than Piston. Hey!
Wow.
Let's revive the rivalry.
Make it a shirt. Make it a shirt.
I need more Pistons hate shirts. I've just got the one.
Yeah, you ran to go get that as soon as you saw that.
It was at the bottom of my hamper, and I did a load of laundry today that I wasn't planning on doing today, so I could have a clean Pistons hate shirt
It's
to
all
wear
about
for y'all.
priorities.
He's all about that. Prioritizing Peck.
Did I finally get around to filing my taxes today? Nope. Did I clean my Piston suck shirt? Yup. Priorities, people.
Adulting.
Priorities.
That is adulting, ladies and gents. That's how it goes.
Just a different kind of adulting.
Just a different. Right.
All right, y'all. We are just moments away from tip-off, so we will get out of here. But meet us right back here on the CHGO YouTube channel.
Here.
Subscribe to it
Here.
if you aren't already. If you've been watching on the Twitter feed, cool. But it's even better over here on YouTube. Better quality. Plus, you get those comments up and be a part of the show. So do that. And follow along with us on Twitter while you're getting ready to watch that game. I'm at Bulls_Peck. Dave is at Bow, BAWL Sports. Will is at Won't, Gottlieb.
Hey.
Our pal Mark K is at MK Hoops. We are at CHGO_Bulls.